All right, so good afternoon, GAC Health and Fitness family and friends of GAC Health and Fitness. I am Doreen. I am your coach and your facilitator for tonight. I thank you so much for being here. We have your live panelists tonight. We have both Vita and Ann and Cheryl, and they are in the hot seat for us tonight, where we're going to be discussing what is the difference between moderation and elimination, right? And is there such a thing? And if that is the case, how are we supposed to do that? So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to share my screen so that everyone can see. All right. So this is what we're going to be talking about. And it's coming from a YouVersion Bible study that I was doing a lot of our lives from and some of our discussions from. And it's basically like 5 pillars of trying to eat healthy God's way. So this particular panel is coming from pillar number 3, which I thought was very interesting. And when I was going to do it on a video, Holy Spirit was like, no, we need to do this as a coaching session. So I am leaving this up to him because this was his idea. So he's got some questions for y'all tonight. So before we get started, the main part of it is that it's going to be talking about moderation or eliminating. So, and I really appreciate what she has said because this is something that I have been dealing with and learned a little bit more about with these last couple of years under coaching that I have also been undergoing. And basically, who here has ever heard the whole thing about, everything in moderation? You don't have to give up everything. Just take a little bit at a time and you're going to be fine. You can have a little bit of sugar here and, and then you don't have to, when it's birthday time, you can have your cake and then you go right back on it. And I used to be like her and a few others that's like, yeah, that would be great because, it's so restricted to say, just don't do anything, stick to it and don't sway from one side to the other, right? But then I started realizing is like, okay, this is not working because don't understand what moderation is and what moderation is not. And then I found out moderation isn't real. Moderation doesn't even have a number. And it's like everyone has a different version of what moderation is. So it's like, okay, is moderation a good thing or a bad thing? Or is there such a thing as moderation? All right. So my first question, as I'm going to stop my share, right, is for my panelists, and you can start however you want. All right. What is your definition of moderation? Who wants to go first? When they say do everything in moderation, right? What is your definition of moderation?
Set a limit.
Set a limit, but what does that look like?
Because everybody limit is different.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, when they say moderation, I think they need to have a measurement. What measurement consider moderation?
Mm-hmm.
Moderation for some may be a quarter cup, some may be a cup, some may be 2 cups.
Yeah.
So it depends on your definition of moderation.
Right. That's the question that myself as a coach and a few others have is like, well, if we let everyone say, okay, well, everything in moderation, the line keeps changing back and forth, right? And then who determines the moderation?
Yeah, I just love to say that.
Who determines the moderation? And are you allowed to change that moderation as it suits you?
I think so because everybody's an individual and everybody is different. And like you said, what is moderation and what does moderation mean to you?
Mm-hmm.
And moderation to me could be one. Let's say one of the splendors. One splendor may be moderation to you, but it may be two to me, and that's what makes me comfortable having the two. And the one that you take may make you comfortable
Mm-hmm.
and make me uncomfortable because that to me is not enough. Normally, if I'm cutting down from 4 to 2, that's my moderation.
Okay.
You know, and I think you can have moderation can also be in exercise. It doesn't only have to be in food.
Exactly.
Right. because you can call yourself cutting down on your exercise and stuff like that and barely do anything because you said you're doing it in moderation. So okay, it's just not only food. Isn't
So your
that true
moderation
though,
could be like, I'm not doing anything this week.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Right.
yeah, yeah.
So my next question is, but that is your definition of moderation, right? But my next question is like, okay, when do you decide when you set your moderation for yourself, right? Does that mean that when you feel as though that moderation is too moderate, do you end up changing the scale? Do you change the scale
I think
for
so.
moderation?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Okay, hold on, Gail. We're gonna
Oh, I'm
answer.
sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
That's okay. Hold on, hold on. All
But
right,
you
For me,
go
when
go
you
ahead,
ahead.
say
Sean.
moderation, people you change things because you'll say, okay, when I have the cookies, I really like these cookies, but if I do it in moderation, so I'll just eat 2 cookies.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And then what'll happen is you'll have a day that you worked out really hard or you did something and you say, well, I did an extra workout today, so I can have 3 cookies. So now you've moved your moderation from 2 cookies to 3 cookies. But the truth is, if you're really being moderate, then you have to go back to the 2 cookies. But what happens
Hmm.
is you go to the 3 and you be like, oh, that's okay. I'll just stay at the 3. And then you keep shifting.
Okay, yeah.
And so after a while, you're now went from 2 cookies to 5 cookies.
Right.
But
That's right.
I
But
didn't
I
eat the
did eat
whole
the whole
pack.
sleeve.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
moderated it, but I didn't eat the
But
whole
but
Mhm.
that's
sleeve.
not
Hmm.
but that's not truly moderation because you keep changing the numbers. And then
That's
it's
right.
the same thing too. Like when you work out and you say, I'm gonna do 50 reps. And then you say, that's a lot. So we're gonna lower it a little, everything in moderation. That was a little too hard. But then you keep decreasing.
Increasing
Oh,
it.
I'm tired. I don't want to do that many. So
Hmm.
there is no real level of moderation.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we use, like you said, Cheryl, that we justify that you said, oh, we working out, so I'm gonna do have 2 cookies, and we justify adding that third cookie because we said we worked out. We use that working out as an excuse to add another cookie. In
Hmm.
our mind, we swear we did enough to burn up that other third cookie, and we know we didn't because we still at the same exercise we did at the 2 cookies.
Exactly.
But we
Hmm.
justifying it by saying that, oh, I worked out today, so I can have that extra cookie, but I didn't work out an extra 10 minutes to burn that extra cookie off.
Right. Right. I
Mhm.
got you.
Yeah,
Yes,
Hmm.
because
that's why we were saying that moderation is really not a number.
but
Right.
Right. And so therefore it's hard to say to someone everything in moderation. All right, because moderation is different for everyone. Moderation is really not a number when you think about it. Moderation is a feeling. Moderation
hmm
is an
yeah,
emotion,
Hmm.
ocean.
right? And it's like, today I feel like it could be moderated here. Today, well, maybe tomorrow is going to be completely different. So we have to, when we talk about moderation, we have to be like, okay, what am I really defining it as and why? All right. So that was good. All right. I'm going to share my screen one more time because we have another question. All right. So now the other thing is, it becomes a serious problem when we start making using moderation as an excuse to
Confusion.
continue with the behavior.
There you go.
Right.
Mhm.
So my next question to you is like, what situations trigger you to overeat? Because everything in moderation is a principle was not going to cut it out for everyone, right? Because as we dig deeper, right, for some people, there is no such thing as just one.
Hmm.
So let's talk about situations that trigger you to overeat. So let's talk about that. What
And I was gonna
situation?
say that, like you say, oh, I get moderation, and then you have a bad day, you're stressed out, and you be like, oh, I had such a bad day. I can have these cookies because I'm just so stressed. So now you made an excuse. But it's the trigger is the stress, maybe a stressful situation at work, or you had a argument with someone,
Mm-hmm.
and so now you're like, oh, I feel bad, I'm sad because we were arguing.
Mm-hmm.
So you eat your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So we moderated to how we felt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel bad today, so I'm going to make myself feel better. I'm not going to eat the whole thing. I'm just going to have 5 cookies. All right.
Mhm.
And then I'll feel better. But then what about if it happens tomorrow? All right. And then the
Mm-hmm.
5 turns into, well, that wasn't enough. I'm going to have the cookies and I'm going to have something else to go along with it. So again, when it comes back to the moderation, when does moderation stop? Right? When does it end? What is the number? Okay, what is the situation, regarding moderation? So let's talk about the triggers. What triggers us? Because again, if we have the moderation, like we talked about, it's like what triggers you to overeat? We talked about a little bit of it last week and through the videos that we've been sharing, that I've been sharing through our Stronger series. There's a lot of questions we have to ask ourselves, but we all know what sets us off, right? So the question is, what triggers you to overeat?
For me, is not being in control
Control of what?
any situation. If I'm not in control of my life, I feel all over the place, and that makes a trigger to eat. I think it's satisfying me, and it really isn't. But in my mind, it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it forces me to overeat because sometimes I feel stuck, but I'm still eating. You know, and just to got to think about what I'm going through, and you're doing it because when you finish, you feel miserable.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think I don't. I like being in control. I don't like not being in control of my life. And I don't like changes a lot. I
mm-hmm.
can deal with certain changes, but when it's the changes I don't want to make, it's because I'm being forced to make it that triggers me.
Mm. So I would say to you that that was an extrinsic
Right.
motivation. So it's something on the outside of you that is causing you to grab something to eat more than what you feel you should be eating.
Yeah. Because you'll be feeling stuff. If you're used to eating a certain amount of food, and you doubling it, you're gonna feel it. There's no way you're not. You're gonna either feel sluggish, you're gonna feel tired, or you're gonna feel blowed up. But
Mm-hmm.
you be saying to yourself, well, at least I ate. I feel I'm controlled because I ate. So I ate this. I ate what I wanted to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
you
my
know,
question to you is like you said that when you feel that you're out of control, all right, that you eat more to to make yourself feel better. But is that really allowing yourself to be in control? Because if you're allowing the
but
outside
in your mind you
situation,
think, yeah,
uh,
but your mind you think so. You think because you controlling what you eat. So you don't think about the other stuff because you're controlling what you're eating. You're getting satisfied and for a moment. For a moment.
but are you
I
really in
didn't.
control
I
though?
didn't.
But
Yeah,
are
but
you
I'm not
really in
saying it. I
control?
didn't say it. I didn't say it makes sense and it's logical. I didn't say it has to do that.
I
It's
think
like
it's
I'm
I'm
really out
saying,
of
motivation.
control. I'm really out of control. But
Yep.
yeah.
but then again,
But when you,
I think I'm in control because I'm choosing what I want, but I'm out of control because the outside experience is what's causing me to eat this.
because when you
Guys,
look at that scale, you be like, oh my God. No,
that
this
is
can't be for
crazy.
real. When did this happen? How did this happen?
My goodness.
How did this happen before you know it? You don't realize because you ain't going near the scale because you can't because you know
Right.
you're doing something you shouldn't have been doing. So it doesn't have to make all that sense,
It doesn't have to
Doreen.
make sense, but it does make sense in the moment. I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
What about you, Mama Vita? Is there any situation that triggers you to overeat?
My taste bud.
You're
My taste bud. because for me, my I thank God for the system that He gave me. I think that certain things that I know that I make it affects me, I don't eat it. I
Mm,
just don't eat it because I don't want to be sick.
mhm.
And if I sit down and have something that I like, I'm gonna eat it.
Mm-hmm.
But I would, yeah, but I don't like to feel stuff, so I try
Yeah.
not to. It's uncomfortable.
Mhm.
I don't like to overeat. But
Yeah.
for instance, I love rum raisin ice cream. And Argandale did me a favor. Not Argandale, Turkey Hill. Turkey Hill did me a favor. They stopped making it. They don't make it
They were
anymore.
like, we're not gonna be the
We're
And
gonna
cause of
tempt her.
this trigger. We're gonna
and
stop making it.
that's it. They make it. I even wrote the company to find out what.
Oh
That's how
no,
I wrote the company. I sent the
Miss
company
Vita.
an email to
I'm gonna
find
put some
out
oil
why.
on you. I'm gonna put
I'm
some oil
telling you,
on
but I'm
you.
telling you the truth. I wrote them an email, asked them why so I'm not able to find rum raisin Turkey Hill ice cream, and they said they discontinued because of it was
Selling.
not much demand.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
the one that has it is
it is.
Aganda's, but if I eat Aganda's, they're gonna send me to the bathroom.
Oh my goodness.
So I just don't. I leave it
Don't
alone.
eat it. You don't eat it. My goodness. So I thank you. Oh, for those who have joined us, Donna, Gail, Lysandra, and Beryl. Please, I don't want you guys to feel that you cannot participate in this conversation. We are going to open the floor later on. But if you have anything that you want to say, or you want to add to any of the questions that we're adding, please feel free to
What's going
put it in
on?
the chat as well. And I will definitely address them as we go. So again, the first question we asked was like, what is your definition of moderation? Right. And the second one is what triggers you to overeat? All right. So go ahead and place those in the chat and we will definitely be addressing.
Aggravation.
She said aggravation.
Yeah.
Aggravation.
Okay. And why?
Why?
Yes.
Because sometimes you want to hurt somebody and instead I'll eat a cookie.
that. Ay, ay, ay.
Oh my
You know how
God.
you have like I could give you an example, but I didn't do it today because I had other things to do. But like when we finished rehearsal,
Yeah.
I was like, "Mm," and I was hungry because I hadn't eaten, and I could have let it make me eat stuff that I shouldn't be eating, but I
Right.
kept telling myself, you have rice and vegetables at home. Go home and eat the rice and vegetables. Because I was about to stop a couple of places, like, dang, I'm hungry, and they just got on my nerves. But I had to take a deep breath because
Right. Right. Right.
sometimes,
Right.
and it's like, it's just an outlet
Yeah.
to let that
Mm-hmm.
to sometimes just let the frustration out as opposed
Mhm.
to screaming or hurting somebody else. You say, well, I'll just have some ice cream and
Right.
I'll feel better.
Right.
But
Right. Right.
then you're hurting yourself because you're not supposed to eat that ice cream.
That's it.
Hmm.
And then
Yeah.
sometimes you just eat out of boredom.
Yeah.
Mindless eating, just
Mindless
Hmm.
like
eating.
you're watching TV and you're sitting there and you're like, oh, look, there's popcorn over there. Let me eat some popcorn. And by the time you realize the whole bag is gone
Mm.
Yeah.
because you're not paying attention, it's just mindless.
Right. Right.
And also, if you haven't had something in a long time and
Mhm.
somebody comes in front of you with it, it's on. It's
Mhm.
on. That's where the moderation, everything goes out the window. You
So
know.
what I'm hearing, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of our triggers for overeating is not internal, it's external.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
All right.
It's
Right.
snowing, y'all.
Uh-oh.
No.
Here we go.
Started snowing already.
Oh boy, they were right. Okay, we're gonna pray about that. So Gail said that a lot of it is job related stress, right? And we will go into that again. So again, it's a lot of outside stuff
It's
that is
yeah.
affecting us in a
Mhm.
way that we have to question. It's like, well, why are these outside things allowing, causing us to be doing things that we know that we should not be doing. All right. So my other, we already kind of talked about the one thing that we know that we just can't eat one of, right? And we have a problem with that, right?
Can
So
I say
Doreen, can I
something?
say something?
yes.
Also, his question should be, well, when we eat more and out of control, is what time is it usually during the holiday season?
That's a good one.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Is it more
Yeah.
because of holiday, because things be going
yeah.
on and you get depressed around the holidays for certain people, certain holidays make them
Hmm.
depressed and stuff like that. I think some people that's in control all year round, but a certain time of year, that's
Right.
it,
Right.
you know.
Right.
You're
That's
talking
very
about
true.
me.
Mhm.
I didn't hear you. What was that?
I say you're talking about me because I plan to eat me some cake this Christmas.
I am not the food police. I am not. I'm not the food police. But this is
But
that's good. Oh, go ahead,
I
Cheryl.
was gonna say, like when you say, you were saying external influences, and that's also like Anne was saying, control.
Mhm.
Because if you have external things that are attacking that you can't control,
Control, yeah.
your way to handle it is you say, well, you know what, I can't do anything about that, but I can have some potato chips.
Mm.
Because and that's where, like when she was saying control, like when situations that you can't do anything about, a lot of times your way to handle it is just to be like, all right, let me have some chips.
Hmm. But the question that will come, but what is it about that particular chip? It could be the chip, it could be the ice cream, it could be the activity. What is it about that you feel that is going to satisfy you to the point where it's actually going to make the stressor go away? Is it going to make the stressor go away?
No,
No.
It makes you comfortable because that's something that gives you comfort and it makes you relax a little bit. It makes you happy for that moment, something like. And that's something that you know that this is. I like this particular ice cream. If I have this particular ice cream at this particular moment, I'm gonna feel good at that moment.
Okay. All right,
Yeah,
so basically what you were talking about earlier in regards to holidays and so forth. So
yeah.
that comes up to question number three. Like what foods or activities that you know you can't have just one bite of? All right. What are those foods?
Oh,
What are those
Doreen, Doreen,
activities
Doreen.
that you
Chocolate,
know that you can't have just that one bite, he's like, nope, not having it. If I eat that one
Chocolate.
thing, it is done. It is over. What is it?
Chocolate.
She said chocolate.
chocolate,
I
chocolate with nuts. Chocolate with nuts. I'm gonna have fun.
they have this I haven't seen it in a lot, but there used to be these church ladies who used to make what they call German chocolate
Chocolate
cake.
cake.
Oh my God.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yep,
Woo!
yep.
I know I'm not supposed, Miss Doreen, I'm confessing tonight. I know I'm not supposed to eat chocolate
Mm,
because it makes me itch from the inside.
right.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that it affects me physically. But man, I cheat and eat a piece of chocolate cake every now and then. If it's
Wow.
good.
Mm.
If it's
If I,
good.
if I, but these ladies, they die. They're not around. So I don't eat it.
Oh
Oh,
my
they got
goodness.
Yeah,
that's what
but
they
I'm
do.
telling you, I never, German chocolate cake, oh, those ladies could have throw down. And I used to cheat.
Mhm.
Oh my
I used,
gosh.
I
That
used to cheat.
okay.
But I know I'm not supposed to eat it because when I eat chocolate, I hitch and I know that's dangerous.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. They
Yes.
tighten up your throat, everything.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
reaction.
anaphylactic. That's favorite. I know
Hmm.
better.
Hmm.
So I don't know why I do it.
Well, in the chat, Gail is like easy grabs. Beryl is like junk food, so that's like generals, like whatever junk food is there. And Sandra is saying any chips her husband always says don't eat the whole bag, and she does. So those chips, those doggone potato chips, man, I get it. I truly understand that. So there's the easy grab. So Cheryl, what you got?
Mine is I'm literally chocolate,
It's
but
just
it's
chocolate.
Chocolate.
weird because I used to eat just any chocolate,
Mm-hmm.
but now because I started eating dark chocolate, if I eat milk chocolate, it's not the same satisfaction.
Hmm.
So, like if I eat regular milk chocolate with milk chocolate, I'd be like, yeah, that was
Yeah.
okay. But the
Mm-hmm.
dark chocolate, I can, me and dark. But I've gotten good because, like, I have the things where they have the squares that you could just
Yeah,
break off. And
right.
now I just break off a square and then I'll go upstairs. Because if it's downstairs, I won't come back.
Yeah.
You gotta put it out of sight, out of mind. I
Hmm.
I have to
got
make
you.
it be away from me.
Wow, wow,
But
wow.
it's definitely, for me, it's chocolate cake, chocolate candy,
Yeah, that's right.
you
Anything
know.
chocolate.
Yeah.
With me, it's
Well,
popcorn.
well, I have to say that if they got rid of chocolate on the world, it would not bother me. But if they got rid of
Sandra,
chips and
hate you.
pretzels and popcorn, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm
yeah, I'm
not,
like that with a good bag of popcorn too. I'm with you with that, Sandra. I love me some butter
and
I
I,
popcorn.
I'm I
love
don't
popcorn.
I'm not a cake cookie. I, I'm not a cake and cookie. You can keep all your cake. You can keep all your cookies.
Right.
But I need your popcorn. I need the pretzels. I need the potato chips, cheese doodles. And also, the only thing what triggers me with eating junk food is the fact of being home
Mm,
and watching a good movie,
mhm.
and then I turn into that junk food addict. I don't eat a lot of food. I don't eat a lot of different foods because of my stomach condition.
Mhm.
So my weight actually comes from being a junk food addict, and I am truly a junk
Mm,
food addict.
wow.
Ah, well,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that. We're gonna get to those things. So don't
Yes.
worry. I hear you guys. I hear you guys. I see you guys in the chat as well. So here we go. All right. So now we know the things that we can't have just one, right? So why do you think, all right, that when we are called to fast, that leaving those trigger foods alone is easier, or is it? Why do you think that when we are called to fast, that those trigger foods are trigger foods is easier to leave those trigger foods alone? Is easier, or is it? Let's talk about that.
It's not readily available.
It's
Why?
not.
Because
It's not
when I get
easy.
ready to do a fast, it's like, and I'm terrible because if I'm getting ready to do a fast and I'm like, okay, I can't have no chocolate, I can't have no ice cream. If I have it in my house, I
Yeah,
eat it before I start.
that's
And
right.
then and then I won't buy any. I
Mm-hmm.
won't buy
That's right.
any
Hmm.
until we're done. So if it's
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
not here,
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it.
even if I have a taste, I was like, "Ooh, I could eat a piece of chocolate," and then I'll be like, "Oh, I don't have no chocolate."
Mm-hmm.
And then also too, if I'm out, it's a part of me seeing it and being like, and I'll be like, "No, you on the fast. You're not supposed to eat that." So I try to be obedient.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's a little for me. It's a little easier because one, I remove it, and two, I just remind myself, you're on the fast. You can't have that.
Got it.
Now, when the fast is over, all bets are off.
Okay.
I,
Anybody
I,
else?
my weakness is
It's
I love
gotten better now
rice.
because the fast was over. I will go back to my. Mhm.
I
No, I
love
was saying when I.
rice.
Oh yeah, she told us that to speak.
I
Yep.
love rice, and I cook rice for my son during every fast.
Mm-hmm.
Every fast, since I'm fasting, I will cook the rice. I will not taste the rice. I will not heat the rice. But as soon as the fast is over, I
Mm-hmm.
go right back to the fast.
Mm.
I go right back to eating rice. I don't know why, but like certain things that I don't eat on the fast. I don't eat it anymore. For instance, I really eat
Mm-hmm.
fried chicken. I used to go to churches, remember churches, and buy the chicken wings. And after fasting 1 year, I couldn't tell you, I don't go back there. I don't buy it. I don't eat it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm occasionally may eat a piece of fried chicken, but they don't, not like I used to. But rice, It never fails. Every time I fast and the fast is over, I go right back to the rice. I don't know why. Well, pray for me. I have a
Now,
right to do.
I have a question. Um, I have a question. So, if you have the intrinsic ability to stop something when you know that it's for a certain part or time, say 21 days, 10 days, 40 days, why is it harder why do you give yourself permission to go back to it, especially when you know it's not good for you?
I
So
love it.
what my coach calls it, why do you detox?
Question.
The
No
detox.
answer.
Sandra said no answer.
Good question. No answer.
It tastes good. I gotta go back. I'm sorry. I just love rice. I love
But you
rice.
know what, Doreen? I'm getting better because from the last couple of fasts, certain things I'm not rushing to go back to. I've been doing in moderation, so I've been doing better,
Mm-hmm.
because I noticed that I really didn't need it that much. I thought I did, but I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
know. So, but especially now, I didn't run back to the chocolate, none of that stuff. I haven't run back to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we think subconsciously that if we have that, what we shouldn't have, somebody go, no, and we're not following that fast.
Somebody gonna see you and tell.
Somebody go, no,
I thought you were supposed to be fasting.
nothing. That's right. And that's the first thing people say when you eat candy or something on the fast. They first, oh, I didn't know you obviously is not fasting because if so, you
Oh,
wouldn't have that. The fasting police is around, stuff
ah!
like
Ah, ah,
Yeah.
ah.
that. Yeah. But I'm getting better with that. I'm not running back to the things no more and stuff like that. So I feel I'm doing better with that. But the fast is not supposed to be a diet.
No.
No.
It's not supposed to. But I think some people use that as a diet, and soon as that's over, they run back to their habits.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, and
But
then
do
So,
you
it's
I'm
even
sorry.
worse when you go back. It's even worse when you go back because you really wanted that, and you just eat more than you normally used to eat of that thing.
Mm-hmm.
but now for me, sometimes like we do a fast and I stop eating something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
And
want it.
then when the fast is over, it might take me a while. But then when I eat it, it doesn't
Don't taste
taste
the
the
same.
same.
It don't taste the same.
And it doesn't give me the same satisfaction that it
Mhm.
did when I used to eat it. So I tend not to eat it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Got it. All right. So Beryl says in the chat that she says raising a teen for her makes giving up junk food harder. So it is about who's around you. And
Mhm.
Donna said preparation. She said also fasting with others allows you to be more disciplined. And
Discipline,
Sandra's
yeah.
just calling out for help. She's just like, help me.
I just gave up.
She's like, help me, help me. Donna says she thinks that we go back because we know the fast was meant to be temporary.
Temporary, yeah.
Yeah. But was it? If
No,
we're really praying about, honestly, if we're praying about what we're supposed to be fasting, and Holy Spirit reveals to you, this is what I need you to give up. Do you really think he means for us to go back to it?
No. If he tells me to
No.
give it up,
Mm,
No.
but then
mm.
you should say, are they really listening to the Holy Spirit? The people he may be saying it, but they may not be listening because they don't want to hear that. They be like, Holy Spirit, are you sure you're talking to me?
It's like, oh no, it's only for this
No,
amount of days. It's only for
days,
this
yeah.
amount of days, right?
Mhm.
So, okay, we went to that. So why do you think that when the fast is over, we run back to the trigger foods, even though we have gotten the results we wanted and feel better? So I know that some people have like given up certain things and they're like, oh, I lost a little bit of weight and I feel better. I'm sleeping better. My A1C dropped and this and this and that. And then you look up and they're gone back to the thing that they got results from and they gone back to the thing that they feel better from. Is that not called addiction?
yeah,
Hmm.
Mhm.
yeah. Like the rice is addicted. I'm addicted to rice. But for me, when I stopped drinking, I purchased box juices and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I can truly say that I may drink something, but if not, I have not drinking box juices.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And if I notice if I drink sugar,
Mm-hmm.
it triggers me to go to the bathroom more.
Mm.
So my system, because I stopped drinking sugar, and when I do drink it, it affects my system.
Mm-hmm.
So I know
Mhm.
every time if I drink a little sugar, oh, what did you do? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm.
for me, your system after the body get adjusted to you eliminate certain things from your system, and you try to go back to certain of these things, your body reacts.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It
I
does.
cannot eat beef. I cannot eat beef. I cannot eat beef. I do not touch beef. I do not eat pork. I cannot touch pork. So I know once you stop eating certain things, your body adjusts to certain place, and you cannot put that stuff in your mouth anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay.
depends on what it depends on what you want the results to be, not only when you're fasting and stuff. And you was talking about A1C. I knew when I was had to cut certain things out of my life because I did not want to take metformin no more. I did not want to. I did not want to take pills, and I did everything because they would just keep saying, "Oh, you need to take the pill," and I started taking it, and I didn't want it. So I did everything. They didn't think I was going to do it. I have not been on metformin over 10 years now.
Wow.
Once
Mm,
I got off
mm.
it, I have never, and my A1C has been perfect
That's great.
because I did not want to take no more pills. I did not want to take the pill. Once they put me on it, my mind was, I'm going to get off of this.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make this a lifestyle because I saw what diabetes did to my family,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and how bad my family have lost legs and everything from diabetes and just that.
Mm-hmm.
That was not my goal.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it also when you fast and then you eliminate things, why you eliminate it, and what results are you going to get from eliminating, and what's the results if you go back to it? You got
Mm-hmm.
to ask yourself those
Mhm.
questions too.
Right.
You
Right.
know.
What are the consequences
Hmm.
of doing certain things? And again, that is also an intrinsic thing because your story is very similar to mine. It's like I looked at family members and, what they were taking and what they were doing. And in my mind, it was like, I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. I've lost siblings over this past couple of years, and it's because of lifestyle situations,
Hmm.
gout and heart disease, kidneys,
Mhm.
amputations. It's like
Yes.
these things did not have to be,
Happen. Yeah.
but because of the lifestyle that they have chosen or had chosen, they just did not know that there was a better way. So it's, again, you have to look at it when you're talking about between moderation and elimination. It really does come back to what your goals are. Okay.
Hmm.
Or are you telling yourself, well, just this once, or it's not that bad, or I'm okay, and I'm not as bad as, or it's just a little bit. Those are the things that we are telling ourselves, and we have to ask ourselves, are we making excuses, right? Or are we just making, again, just making excuses, saying it's just a little bit, this one time. Oh,
Hmm.
it's not that bad. Oh, I'll try again. Oh, it's just moderation. I only had two. I usually have four. It's like, you got to start asking again. If you go back and start listening to all the questions that we start asking ourselves, if you say those questions out loud, or if you say that to someone else who's actually going to tell you the truth, they're going to look at you like, for real? So these are things that we need to ask ourselves, look in the mirror, to write it down, journalists. Okay, does this make sense? Am I telling myself the truth, or am I telling myself a lie, that so that I can keep doing what I'm doing so I don't have to make any changes? Now,
Yeah.
you're going to keep going, right? But my son, Kanan, got me watching. I'm now hooked to the 600-pound life.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I
I
love
am
that show.
sitting watching this show, and I am sitting there like, how in the name of Jesus did you allow yourself or your family to
Yeah.
allow
Yeah.
you to get to 597 pounds? They got things hanging off them. They can't live. Just and 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 I'm sitting there like, what is going on in their minds? But if you listen to their conversations, they're making excuses.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh,
Hmm.
well, I'm hungry. And oh, this and that. And it's just, if you listen to it, and I'm saying when I was watching it, all right, because I'm like, okay, I have to hear the mindset go beyond what's happening with their bodies. We do the exact same thing. We say the same
Hmm.
things. If you listen to what they're saying, we're saying the same things to ourselves. We have not gotten that far, but
Hmm. We
maybe
use the same
maybe
excuse.
spiritually we are that far. So it's
Hmm.
something to think about. It's like we're looking at them as like, oh my God, I would never. But if you listen to the conversations that they are having with themselves, we are having the same conversations.
Well, you know what gets me with that show, Doreen? What I find crazy with that show is
Mhm.
the people they surround themselves with. They don't think they big. They be around big people too, and they act like maybe they not be 600, but some of them are three something, 400, and they think they small. It just blows my mind. And then I'm like, how could that person can't get up to get the food? You're bringing it to them.
Yes, there's a lot of enabling.
Yeah,
There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of enabling in
Yeah.
those shows. And
Yeah.
it's just like,
and they should be
wow.
on a, doing the same thing they doing to get lose weight because some of them are just as big as them.
Yes, but their mind again, it's a mindset. It's definitely the mindset. Um, yes, you're absolutely right. Donna says the majority of the people on My 600 Pounds Live don't take accountability. They blame
Yeah,
others and
mm,
always a victim. But
and
some
they
of
mean.
them, but I agree that it is gone to that level,
Hmm.
right? But if you listen to why they do what they do, we say the same thing.
Same thing. Yeah.
So
Hmm.
we maybe not
I'm
take, they may not
depressed.
have, they may
I'm
be blaming
sad.
others. I'm sad. I'm depressed.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I just gave up on life and, but then something clicks in them that say, okay, my daughter, my child, I'm going to
Hmm.
die, because I was looking at the statistics and they were like, only 5% make it. I'm like,
Yeah.
that is crazy. That is
Hmm.
crazy. So again, we may be looking at things and be like, oh, we're not that bad, but we're saying the same thing. So here's the deal, right? So according to the devotional, and I kind of agree too also that certain people utterly devoid of the ability to stop eating, which we were talking about with the 600-pound life people, right? For those people, one bite is too much in order to effectively release weight. Those foods must be eliminated from your diet. So you can't even mess around with them. So if you
Mm-hmm.
know, right, that you can't have just one chip, you should have no chips because you have no control, right? Because of the fact that when we eat things that satisfy or we think is satisfying us, it is creating a biochemical response within our bodies, right? And that it renders us powerless. It's like the sugar on the tip of the tongue, it's the salt, it's the crunchiness, it's the mindless eating. We're just grabbing it as we're watching a movie, right? So we get the big tub of popcorn when we go to
To
the
the
movies,
left.
and by the end of 2 hours,
Right there.
the whole thing is gone, So you have to ask yourself these simple questions. It's like, can I just eat one cookie or cake or chocolate or a handful of chips or nuts and feel satisfied?
And
If
maybe
you
say
say
cheese.
no, if you say
I
I
can see
can't
this up.
do that, then those are your trigger foods and you need to eliminate them from your life for a season, right? If you are the type of person that can eat one and walk away and not be like feeling like, oh, come back, come back. I need you to take more of me. Eat it all. I'm here for you. If you can't do that, then if you can do that, it's like, no, I don't want you. I don't need you. And you can walk away, then you can keep on doing everything in moderation. So now the question is, when is it time to truly eliminate a food or an activity? Like some of you mentioned it, like when you eat chocolate, you feel funny, you feel itchy, allergic reactions, red flags, reactions in your
Go to
body.
somebody's driveway.
All right. So we need to ask that question. All right. When is it of time to actually eliminate a food? When you eat something, what is your body telling you? What do you
When
feel?
it when
Mm-hmm.
when it becomes toxic to your body, or when it becomes detrimental to your health, where you know that every time that I eat this, it's gonna make me sick, then stop eating it. Or if you know that when I eat this, my blood pressure is gonna go up. If you start making a correlation and you're like, well, every time I eat this, my blood pressure goes up. Well, every time I eat this, I get a headache. So
Mm-hmm.
something is in it that's giving you a headache. So don't eat it
Mm-hmm.
unless you like having a headache. I don't know.
There are, I hear you, Cheryl, but there are so many foods that I can't eat
hmm
um, unless I cook it myself. Even last night at the Ushers Fellowship that we had at Thomasina's, um, I ended up having the collard greens. I just tasted a small amount of the collard greens, and I knew I could not eat them. It's a
hmm
shame to say that if it's not my food, I really can't eat a lot of foods. The Sunday after Thanksgiving, I went to one of my friend's house, and I only had some ribs and I had some potato salad, and I had a whole episode.
Mm.
I went in her bathroom and I threw up to the point where my throat muscles was messed up.
Mm.
So I
hmm
find that my junk food or what I cook is satisfying to my body. I really can't eat a lot of foods out.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, a lot of it
and I
is
find
what they
myself,
cook it.
it's really a shame for me to say that I find myself dependent on my junk food, but I know I need to do something about it. But there's a
hmm
lot of things that I cannot eat because of the seasoning. First of all, I'm allergic to
Right. It's a
garlic,
lot
so
of
I can't
times
have
it's
it.
the
So when I,
seasoning that they
even
use.
last week, right, it's the seasonings. If I season my food, then I know I can eat it. Um, it it's a lot for me. So when I'm sitting around eating potato chips, my system is satisfied because I know I can eat potato. Now
And it's not making you
I
sick,
can only
right?
eat plain, and that's another thing. I
Mm-hmm.
cannot eat like the Doritos and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like
Because that
that.
has
Some
stuff
plain
like it has
potato
like the
chips, some pretzels,
cayenne or
some
the
cheese doodles.
paprika, things like that that will
It,
set
it,
your
it, it,
system off.
right. So it's not a good thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I know what my system can take, and that's why I
Yeah.
said I need help because I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
So, Sandra, let me ask you this question. Have you done an allergy test with your doctor?
Yes, yes. And I can't have any, um, I use garlic powder, but I
Mm-hmm.
cannot have fresh garlic. I cannot have
Ooh.
fresh garlic. So, fresh garlic it just sends me over the top. But when I'm seasoning my food, I know what my system can tolerate. But
Mm-hmm.
when I go out to eat, sometimes I'm like literally scared to eat. Like last night, like I said at the Ushers Fellowship, I
Mm-hmm.
had sweet potatoes, I had the fish, I had
Mm-hmm.
the fried chicken. I
Mm-hmm.
was, you know, I'm scared to eat even at the gala last Sunday.
Right.
I tasted a little bit of the string beans, but I
Mm-hmm.
knew that I wasn't able to eat them. But the potatoes I knew were bland, and
Wow.
whatever was on top of the salmon, I
Mm-hmm.
kind of scraped it off.
Right, right.
So if I'm not cooking it myself, I am literally scared to eat.
Doreen,
Wow.
I have to. I'm gonna get off now. We just walked in. I have to go.
Okay,
Y'all
thank
have a good
you.
night.
All right,
Okay,
thank
bye.
you.
Have fun, banana.
Okay, thank you.
All right, no problem.
So
Uh,
food really scares me
right.
Yeah.
unless I'm making it myself.
I have a thing with food because I don't use, like, I really don't use too much salt. And I'll go places, as soon as I taste, I'm like, oh, I can't eat that. It's too salty. Or
Mm,
there's a seasoning in it and I taste it. And I'm real sensitive to things and it'll make my
Yes.
tongue tingle. So
yeah.
if I eat like a spoonful and I get that little tingle on my tongue, I'm like, okay, I can't eat this. So I understand what you're saying about not being able to eat certain foods
Hmm.
because my system is real sensitive and I do like vegetables. I'm like, okay, but then I have to ask what's in the vegetables, how they cook them. You
Hmm.
know, did you cook it with meat? Did you cook it?
Ex-
So it's
exactly.
it's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, it's and that makes it even tougher for you because it does affect how you socialize,
Mm-hmm.
because you want to go out and you want to have a good time and you don't want to be the one that stands out is like, oh, what is it made of? The blah blah blah. Um, but but at the same time, you have to be safe. You have to make sure that you're eating something that is good for your body and
Mm-hmm.
not something that's going to trigger you. So yeah, it is hard, but we're definitely gonna have to work on
My
that the
brother,
junk
my
food thing.
brother's solution to that is eat before you go.
Eat before you
Yeah,
go.
Exactly.
And
You're
he
right,
always
Cheryl.
says
You're
that.
right,
He
Cheryl.
goes, we be going out, and he goes, yeah, I'm gonna eat first because I might not be able to eat what they have.
that's it. That's
So,
it.
You're right, Cheryl. You're right.
Yep, you got to
hmm
eat what you got to
That's
eat in
it. That's
advance.
it. Mhm.
Listen, me being how I eat, I do that all the time. I was like, okay, we're gonna eat this because I'll keep something in the bag, because I don't know what they're gonna have. We have carry some
hmm
stuff in the bag with me. It's like,
I
okay, here
always
we go.
got little nuts or edamame or chickpea.
Yes, 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 yes. All right. So, according to this, okay, we know what the red flags are. So you need to understand what your red flags are. So again, if you get itchy, you feel funny in your stomach, you got to make sure that you are making sure you're listening. And again, when we had a couple of sessions ago, I did the video that talked about asking yourself questions. What does it feel like? What is your body trying to tell you? And we eliminate that check engine light on the car. We panic when we see it, but we ignore it when our bodies are doing the exact same thing. All right. So one of the things that we have to do is that we have to also make sure that we're avoiding the situations that will open the door to lead us to our flesh. Right. We're looking for the loopholes. Right. We want what we want, like spoiled children, like a 2-year-old having a tantrum in the grocery store. And so we are looking for the loopholes, but we have to understand that we are the ones that control our appetites. All right. They do not control us. And we have to let that be the gauge to tell us whether or not we are walking in the spirit or in the flesh. So here's another question. Question is, when was the last time you lost control after consuming a trigger food, and what were the effects? When was the last time you lost control, you ate it, and then all of a sudden, wow.
The Sunday after Thanksgiving.
Okay, tell us about it.
That I had just said. I had went to a friend's house
Mm-hmm.
and I had just the ribs and the potato salad. And I know it was the potato salad. It's not that the potato salad wasn't good.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of when you put onions in your salads and it sits, that means it's marinated in there.
Mm.
And I went to her bathroom and I just threw up like it was,
Oh, wow.
yeah, it was bad. And there was a little 3-year old there and she ran. She said, is Miss Sandra gonna be okay?
Oh.
Yeah. So a lot of things like that. Like when I make my salad,
hmm
I can't put onions in them because those things when they sit for a couple of days,
Right.
all of those flavors it seeps in.
Right.
So I have a stomach condition, and I'm on medication, and so it was the Sunday after Thanksgiving for me.
Wow. Anyone else want to share when they ate something and they shouldn't have eaten it and
Yeah, I was messed up.
Anyone else?
I had something recently, but I don't remember what it is, and it sent me. I remember what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I remember. I do not remember what it was.
Yeah, we have to definitely have to be careful what we're eating. So again, I always say that what we're eating is not necessarily only what we're eating food, but we are also eating physically, right? We're eating spiritually, we're eating emotionally. So when we give, what happens to you when you spiritually as you give into your flesh is a question that you can ask yourself. When you give into that trigger, when you know that um, and it doesn't necessarily have to be food. It can be indulging in programs, TV. It can be indulging in internet. It can be indulging, eating too much social media. It could be indulging in too much news, all of that. What happens to you spiritually as you give into your flesh is a question that you can ask yourself also, because again, we are eating all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, depending on where you are. All right. You can
Mhm.
walk into a room, right, and the atmosphere be totally wrong. And then you feel icky. All of a sudden, it's like, this doesn't feel right. And then you leave the room or you leave the area, and all of a sudden you feel better. All right. So, again, it's not just physical food, but it's also emotionally and it's also spiritually. All right. So the next question is, because we've been talking a lot about our triggers and the motivation to moderate and eliminate, right? But can you set aside your pleasure until you reach your desired goal? So for instance, if you are trying to like lose weight, right? Or you're trying to bring down your cholesterol, or you're trying to regulate your A1C or anything else. Do you find that you are able to put those things aside until you reach your goal?
Mhm. Of course.
Not everybody can
Because
say yes.
like for me, I was ice cream, chocolate and ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
But the ice cream brings up your cholesterol.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a doctor's appointment, and what do? You don't eat any ice cream. You don't eat any tea. You don't eat anything that would raise your cholesterol, so that when you go to the doctor, everything is good. And then after you go to the doctor, when you go home, you say, yeah, I had a good report. I can have some ice cream now. And then when it's time to go to the doctor again, you do a cleanse. But my thing is, if you cannot eat it for 3 weeks, like they say, 21 days creates a habit.
Mm-hmm.
It creates a change.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, um, I can't think of the word now, but 21 days creates a lifestyle change.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can do it for the 21 days, then you can continue to do it. But it's the fact that now it's like we achieved our goal. So now we deserve a prize.
Mm-hmm.
And so you do because you do it. But I mean, well, now that I don't eat cheese and milk and it's not the same, but that's how it used to be for me. I used to be like, oh, I know I got to go to the cardiologist.
Right.
So I knew when I had to go, and I knew how much time I had to not have cheese, not have ice cream, any of that stuff until I went. And
Mm-hmm.
he would be like, oh, your numbers are down. Now I don't have that issue because whenever I go, my
Right.
numbers, because he's like, well, what are you doing? I'm like, I stopped eating that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But you have to really just, when the numbers are good, don't reward yourself with the
Mhm.
things that made it negative to start with.
Right. So don't detox to retox. That's basically it. But a lot of people don't realize why doctors tell you to come back in 90 days. They tell you 3 months because it takes about that long for your body and your blood to regulate to the point where they can actually see if there's a change. So they say, okay, we'll see you in 3 months or we'll see you in 4 months, but just know that they are counting on you not doing what you're supposed to be doing. because they're waiting for that prescription pad. They're like, okay, we ready to,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, you're not going to, they're not going to,
Right,
they're not going to
right.
do it. They're not going to keep it up. So again, you have to ask yourself, do you want it temporarily? Or do you want it for the long haul? Because again, the things that we do to this biocomputer by going up and down in weight, by going up and down in cholesterol and sugar, you are damaging your vessels when you do that. All right. So you think that you're getting away with something, but the body always remembers. Always. So it might be like, oh, I got a good report. And then you go back, but then your heart and your lungs are like, well, wait a minute, what is happening here? So your blood vessels and so forth, your arteries, they are all taking a toll with the roller coaster. And sometimes you need to get off that ride. Get off the ride. Get off the ride. All right. So now the next question, we are almost done. Thank you so much for your time. So again, we talked about, can you set aside pleasure until you reach your goal? Most people said yes. Some people's like, okay, but then you have to ask yourself, what is that goal? All right. What is the goal? Is it only for the 3 months until we get back to the doctor, or is it all the way through? Right. So the next one is, what is your top intrinsic motivation to either moderate or eliminate? What is going on inside of you to decide whether you're going to moderate or you're going to eliminate? Your top internal intrinsic motivation. Anybody?
Be healthy. If you know certain things makes you sick. I do not like want to take medication. I went to the doctor and said, that's all. I say, yes, I don't want to be taking any. Because
Mm-hmm.
when you reach certain age, they think that you're supposed. I'm not a pharmacy. I don't want it. I don't take it.
Mm-hmm.
So that just to be healthy. It's a good health and prosperity. That's what God promised to me. That's what I want. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not. So that's my goal is to stay healthy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I agree with you, Vita. I am in total agreements with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
To be healthy. And the way things are trying to change with this healthcare system, you're going to have to be your own personal advocate.
That's right.
You're
Yes,
going
Lord.
to have to
Yes.
use food as your medicine because, it's not looking good out there, guys. So we have to take it into our own hands and try to figure this thing out. Right? So what's your intrinsic, Cheryl? Same thing?
Just to stay healthy, and I find that when I eat right, I I have better energy,
Mhm.
and and I'm clearer. But I also notice if I eat something I'm not supposed to, and I don't really have hot flashes,
Mhm.
but sometimes like at night I will wake up and be like, oh my God, I'm on fire. And
Mhm.
then I have to think back to like, what did I eat?
Mhm.
It could have been a spice, it could have been something, and then I go, okay. So just the overall feeling better.
Mhm.
And inflammation, when I eat better, my body doesn't hurt so bad. It still hurts, but not like when I don't eat right.
Mhm. Okay. So I'm going to go into that coaching mode because everyone said to stay healthy. But just like moderation, healthy for some people is not the same as healthy for another. All right. So you have to really be granular about what healthy looks like for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Is it a weight? Right? Is it cholesterol? Is it energy? Is it sleep? Is it clearer thinking? Is it the whole package? It's like, is it stronger? Is it building muscle? Is it being able to get up and down the stairs without having problems? Is it, so again, we can say, I want to be healthy, but what does that look like? And in your own private time, I would really suggest that you, just like we discussed what a moderation looks like, you need to know what health, the definition of healthy for you. What does that look like for you?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a number. All right. It could be that you went to bed on time every day and you woke up refreshed. You got 7 to 8 hours of sleep. That's healthy. Right. You ate one large salad every day. That could be a sign of being healthy. You're able to get up like we do at the fitness ministry. We're doing health assessments every month. Like to say, okay, are we getting better? Are we able to move faster? Are we able to get up? Are we able to do more push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, whatever we're trying to do, right? What does that look like? How does it feel? So it's healthy. It's not just it's too general. All right. So just like we are talking about the definition of moderation for you, what does that look like? What does healthy look like for you? Mentally clear,
Mm-hmm.
revelations every morning with the Lord, what does that look like?
Less pain.
Less pain, less inflammation, knee
Mm-hmm.
issues. Chandra's talking about knee issues. She wants to make the change. She's another knee surgery isn't going to be her choice. So there's going to be certain things that you need to do, and certain things, not unfortunately, but you're going to have to change in your diet to change inflammation, to build muscle, to make sure that you are aligned properly in your exercise. Those things, if you don't want the surgery, there are certain things that you're going to have to do every single day on a
Mm-hmm.
consistent basis to make that happen. So it's not like 30 days, 40 days. It's a lifestyle. Someone had mentioned lifestyle in the chat. It is a lifestyle choice. You have to, God said for us to be transformed by the renewing of our minds. And that is a process that must happen every single day with every choice we make to that goal. Amen.
Amen.
All right. So we are heading to the end. Yes. All right. So the scripture this was based on was Romans 13 and 14. And I like the New Living Translation. It said, instead, clothe yourself with the presence of the Lord Jesus Christ, and don't let yourself think about the ways to indulge your evil desires. So again, we're always looking for that loophole. We're looking for that moderation. We're like, well, okay, I was good. This is fine. This is that. But we were talking about determining the criteria for moderation versus elimination, right? So we have to, first thing I want you to do is to make a list of your trigger foods that will no longer be a part of your eating plan. Whatever that is, write it down. It's like, okay, this is a trigger. That's gotta go. And then I need you to set goals. All right. And we talked about that earlier in our season. We talked about SMART goals, right? They need to be specific, they need to be measurable, they need to be attainable, they need to be reasonable, right? And they need to be timed. All right. So it's not something like, oh, this is what I want to do. Again, what does that look like? How long is it going to take you to get there? What are you planning to do? Map it out, just like we make schedules and so forth for doctor's appointments, hair appointments, nail appointments. And we do not schedule in fitness. We do not schedule in food prep. All of those things need to be part of your calendar, right? The next thing is sickness, disease prevention, or reversal. Most of the times when we are looking for moderation or elimination, it is determining whether or what are we trying to do. Are we trying to prevent something, or are we trying to reverse something? If you are trying to prevent or reverse, that is going to require a lot of elimination, because you cannot keep going back and forth. You cannot be hot and cold. You cannot be on the fence. You have to be either yes or no, because a lot of this is lack of control. We lost control, so that's why we have to moderate. It's like, okay, just a little bit. But in order to actually get to what we're going to do, we have to take back control. Right. And then the family gatherings. I know that we are in our holiday seasons, right? And I know there's a lot of eating going on, and people's like, okay, well, I'm going to start back in January. January, here we come, right? But why do we have to put that? Why do we have to do that? Why do we have to put that damage there? and that lack of control there at family gatherings. So you have to have a plan and a goal for when you go to your family. All right. That's another thing that we need to do. And the one thing that I always say to people, you have to earn the right to moderate. You have to earn the right to moderate. Somebody's off. Who is that? Somebody is off. I'm not sure who that is. I'm just gonna mute everyone for you. All right, so you have to earn the right to moderate. So if you have been doing something for a long period of time and say, hey, I'm at my ideal weight, my A1C is right, my cholesterol is good, all right, and I've been holding on to this for 6 months or more, then it's okay to go ahead and have that little bit of something once, not the week, once. All right, you can earn the right to moderate, but if you are not at your goal, all right, you have not reversed it, or you're still in the process of prevention, right, then you're not there yet. If you can't say no or take one and say no more, you're not there yet. All right, and it may seem a little harsh, right, but again, it's all about what your goals are, right? So as we get ready to end, all right, this is the prayer that came with this, and I added to the prayer. All right, and you can say it out loud if you can see the screen where you are. All right, and it says, Lord, I thank you that through your strength I walk in the Spirit. It is not the only way, it is the only way that I will not give into my cravings and desires. Sometimes I feel like a spoiled brat. I want when I want it, even though I know that it would only hurt me in the long run. Let me only seek your best for me. No more excuses and rationalizing how I can have that sinful indulgence and get away with it. I am only lying to myself and ultimately to you. Strengthen me so I can resist the enemy when he tries to tempt me. And thank you in advance for always providing a way of escape. And grace us the willingness to want to take the way of escape that you provide for us. In your holy name, I pray. Amen. All right. Okay. So that is, you can come off mute. Everyone could come off mute. If you have any questions, please feel free to go ahead and ask that question before we leave. And again, I thank you so much for taking the time to be here on tonight. Anyone have a question? Thank you, Gail. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Donna had you want the Bible verse again. The Bible verse was, sorry. The Bible verse was Romans 13 and 14, New Living Translation. All right.
What was the algorithm for SMART?
Specific, measurable, attainable, reasonable,
Oh, that was the one I missed. Okay.
and time-based. What book did you order, Gail? I'm not sure. What book did you order?
The one that you were working on, the one that you showed. The
The devotional?
yeah, the one that you
Oh,
this study,
oh
this
yes,
question.
Healthy Eating God's Way.
Yes.
Yes, yes, it's a great book. I use a lot of her devotionals from YouVersion, because we kind of think the same way. And I like the way she sets things up, so it's really good. Anyone else have any questions? We're good? Beryl, you had a question? No one? Everyone's good? So again, I thank you for the panelists, Vita, Cheryl, and Miss Ann and Sandra who jumped in. I thank you. This is also have been recorded. All right. So you can share this and you can go back to looking at it afterwards. All right. So thank you so much, guys. Have a great night. And I look forward to our next meeting.
Thank you,
Thank
Miss
you so much. Have a
Doreen.
good night,
You're
everyone. Thank
welcome.
you.
Bye-bye.